Hello everyone, welcome to another live stream with No FOMO Charts YouTube channel. Today is Friday, March 19th, 2021. The stock market has officially closed for today in the USA. Just a quick reminder, these videos and charts are for educational purposes only. This is not financial advice. So in this channel, I talk about stock charts, crypto charts, technical analysis, education. If you have a question, feel free to just ask in the live chat box or in the comments below afterwards. Let's get started. So, try to do a little faster stream today. I'm probably not going to go over every single ticker, but let's start with the Dow Jones Industrial Average Index, the DJI, the Dow Jones. All right, so let me erase everything, okay? Because we're still in this daily uptrend. So remember, on this side, this was 2021, or excuse me, this was 2020, the Corona crash and the recovery, okay? The stock market recovery up this way. So what does it mean? Like, where are we right now with the Dow Jones? We're still in a daily uptrend, all right? If you want to make more sense of this, you can zoom out to like a monthly chart, okay? On the monthly, we're still in the uptrend, making higher highs and higher lows in the price, all right? On a weekly chart, you can still see this. Higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, basically, right? This was the all-time high price. Now we're at record highs for the Dow Jones. All right, so zooming into the daily, all right, now that we have that in mind, that this level over here used to be the record high, and now this is the record high of the price. Now we can get some support and resistance and trend lines going on. So, what does it mean? Well, we just rejected from this high. Okay, remember, if you've been watching the news, you've probably heard that CNBC and Bloomberg, they're saying, oh, Dow Jones at record all-time highs, which is true. That's true. But, you know, it's been a little while since we had a pullback, and it's a little bit overextended on this price action right here. So we're stuck between these two levels right here. This is the resistance up here, $33,000 basically. I'm rounding. And the support down here around $29,000. Okay, there's also a gap support down here. All right, so I'm just going to leave that yellow box down there. Let me take my headphones off. Leave that yellow box down there. So now we could draw some trend lines, okay? Trend lines, let's see. Here, there's one connecting here like that. There's one connecting here as well. All right, and we have a kind of an intermediate support, I would say around here, $32,000. All right, so why did I draw these lines? Why did I draw these lines? Because this is the previous all-time high. So it's a very, very strong support number now with the Dow Jones, okay? And if you look today, we had very strong red seller volume, very suspicious. It's high level of volume, okay? And we double topped, rejected below 33,000. It does not mean we're going to crash. It's not a market crash, but there's definitely a little bit of downward momentum, okay, on the daily. And so probably the next target would be, let me get this highlighter. Where's the color? It's like disappearing on me. There it is. All right, so let me mark these targets in blue so it's easy for people to see. So support probably in this blue area, 32,000. Okay, so if we do come down, that's probably over time the most obvious spot on the daily. All right, because if it gets rejected here, I could just easily see it coming back down here, and we could continue the uptrend. Like, it could do this, and then it could do that and come back up, but very suspicious. And then these trend lines here on the bottom side, on the bottom side right here, this one and this one could be two areas of support. So it could be like this, these two blue lines. And then obviously if we're going to continue the bull trend, we have to go above 33,000. Okay. So if the market does come down like this, that's the first target. Okay. If it's something really bad happens, then we go down to second target. Worst case scenario for now would be down here on this third target down here, but I don't think we're going to go down there yet. So it's most likely scenarios we might get a little bit of pullback. It might be over soon, right? But it might break out to the upside on good news. Because remember, stocks is about fundamentals. It's about news. So with people getting their stimulus checks within the next month, some people already got them as soon as this week, next week, this month, next coming months, next coming week. You know, there's some talk on the internet of people saying, oh, they're going to put that money back into stocks. So that would be potentially bullish for stocks. But on the same token, the flip side would be that, well, we are a little bit overextended. Maybe there might be a little bit too much retail FOMO, right, in the stock market. So it's a little bit mixed right now. So it really depends on what people are going to do with their money in the USA. When they get the stimulus check, what are they going to do with that money? So that's just something to think about. All right, so let's move quickly on to S&P 500, SPX. All right. So SPX still obviously in a monthly uptrend, okay? Monthly uptrend. We're still making higher highs, higher lows over time, okay? And weekly, all right, you can still see the higher high, high low pattern. All right, so we're still in the uptrend. All right, so daily, it's a very similar analysis, but let's just do it because it's important. This is the previous all-time high. Now this is the recent all-time high in the price. So I'll mark it. It's like right here was the 2020 all-time high. Now we're at the 2021, March 2021 all-time high at this point in time. So we're stuck between these two levels. There's also another support here, another support here. All right, so how do I find this one? Because there's two touch points here, multiple touch points. Here, there's multiple touch points right here in the price. And on the top side, multiple touch points up here. Okay, so now if we zoom in, you can kind of see we're just stuck between these two levels right here, 3980 and 3700. All right, so those are two levels to watch out for: the resistance right here in the upper blue and the support in the lower blue. We're just bouncing in between here. All right, so but the question is, are we still in the uptrend? I'm seeing higher high, higher low, higher high price, higher low, higher high, barely a higher low and a higher high. So we're still in the uptrend. It's a tightening range. All right, some analysts and traders might actually draw a pattern here like this, like that, saying we're in a channel, like a kind of this upward channel. Okay, I'll leave that there for next time and see if the technical analysis plays out, meaning if we hit this upper channel and the small top yellow. But at the same time though, if we look at price patterns, okay, just look at white price patterns on the white line, a little bit of a double top right here, rejection at 39.54, right? Dow Jones, if we rewind, we could see that happening on the daily as well. So a little bit of weekly double top rejection. You see this right here? These two white lines, right? You see that double top right here? Yeah, a little suspicious, okay? But it's just, short term. All right, so basically we have to either break out above this. Like one scenario could be we come down here, bulls buy the support and we break out to the upside on good news, good fundamentals. Right? Or if we break down and reject and go down like that, okay? This is a very suspicious spot right here at 3,800. All right, so I'll leave that for next time. So those are the two kind of scenarios that can happen with the S&P 500, bull or bear, up or down. All right, next, Nasdaq. All right, so this is interesting. The technical analysis from last time played out perfectly. I didn't even touch this chart. Right? So you'll see that the blue target up here was hit. Why? Because you extend this trend line out into the chart and you hit that target and we hit that. It was 14,000 as well. All right, and now it's basically floating around our previous support and resistance levels that we marked last time, but I'm going to erase that. I'm going to start over. All right, because it's been like 2 months. So a little bit sketchy, right, on the monthly. This is suspicious, right, because last month we had this shooting star in February. All right, and then this would have turned into almost the evening star pattern. Okay, you got to look it up. When you have this, 3 candles like that at the top, very suspicious problem, but bulls buying it up this month. The month's not over, so I'm not going to look into that much. Still, though, we're in the higher high, higher low, higher high. We're looking probably scouting at the higher low. That's what this action looks like before we're going to higher highs over time. So daily chart. Okay, the one notable thing that I noticed this week is there was a little bit of a battle. There was a head and shoulders on the Nasdaq, okay, with the neckline being about, let me draw a better neckline, more accurate, around $13,076. All right, so there's that battle. Okay, we found the temporary low at 12,551 and we bounced back up, but still it's a mixed signal. Why? Because it's like a head and shoulders into an upside down head and shoulders. So it's very mixed, very mixed. So in here in January, February, it's like, oh, we were going to go down. But now it's like, well, okay, never mind. We might go up. So basically the NASDAQ is very mixed right now, in my opinion. So what's going to fix this is if this is true, we go into the upside down head and shoulders, the most recent price action with this. All right, like this. Okay, if this is true, then we measure here and we get 7%. You go 7% up from that target, 14,480. Boom. First target for the upside. All right. And let's get 14%. So let's go double that target for the second target. 14% approximate is there. All right. So if this is true, all right, that's the bull scenario. These are these two targets, bull scenario, target 1, target 2. All right, if that fails, okay, so this is where I would start using moving averages. So if we look at a short-term moving average, we have a down cross, right? So the price is actually temporarily rejected under these moving averages, right? There's also a trend line like this. If you connect the most recent points, it's stuck below there. So this upside down head and shoulder has to break out and go like this to break out of there, right? It just needs, the price needs to break out. So how would that happen is big hedge funds, big institutions, there needs to be some kind of fundamental news catalyst that's going to get people excited, bullish, right? In the market to buy the market up. Tech stocks primarily. Okay, so again, it brings into that question, what are people going to do with part of their stimulus check? That's the question right now. So, and we're moving into spring and summer. Just a quick aside is, remember in the USA, we have vaccines now for COVID-19. So that we're like halfway with the vaccination program approximately. Or actually, I think it was only like 10 to 20% vaccinated, but the timeline is about halfway. So, you know, in this May, June, July vaccination target for the USA for adults, basically, you know, that's probably going to play a part in the stock market as well. But some of that has been priced in, okay? Meaning like the market knew about the vaccine program like over here, all right? So that could be one catalyst for that on like the S&P 500 and the Nasdaq. So, but bringing it back home to the chart right here is, again, it could be mixed, right? If you draw it like this, then it's like, well, we could have a downside target down here at 12,367, right? So let's do a bear case scenario really fast. Let's measure this head and shoulders. If this is true, 8% down. If that was true, we were supposed to go down all the way down to here, 12,000. All right. So let's keep these targets in mind. All right. So I think the first blue down target Bear target would be like right here, 12,500, and then like 12,000. Please excuse the background noise. A lot of background noise. All right. So we'll leave it there. All right. It's very mixed. This whole price action is market indecision, like mixed signals. But if you look at a weekly to get some clarity, suspicious, sus, right? Is this a weekly head and shoulders? That's what I'm concerned about. But we've seen this double top in the past, last year, just fail, right? This was supposed to go down, but then we had election news and boom, up, right? So this head and shoulders could fail and this could go up over time. But we drew those targets in, so now if we go down, we're not going to panic, okay? We know if we go down, it's going to go down here. If it goes up, it's eventually going to end up here, all right? So, good stuff. Okay, let's move on a little bit more. Okay, Russell 2000. How long has it been? 15, 16 minutes. All right, we'll try to wrap it up soon. We'll do some crypto next. All right, we'll do Russell 2000. All right, this one, I'll speed this one up. We're still in an uptrend, monthly uptrend, weekly uptrend, daily. Okay, but daily, all right, we're at the all-time highs of the Russell 2000. Similar analysis. All right, there's support here, and there's intermediate support here. All right, so now that we have those in line, now we could draw some trend lines possible, like boom, like this, boom. All right, there's even a top one up here. You could probably even draw this one if you wanted to, like that. All right, so if you look at the top trend line, it's really, really stuck in this upward wedge. So again, look at the quick price action. We're not seeing too many bearish patterns on the price action. So we're still in this higher high, higher low in the daily. If this is true, high, low, high, it's looking for the higher low. So anywhere in this zone could be a higher low spot. All right. So that could be a bearish target, number one. Okay, so 2168. If bearish target number two would probably be this zone. All right, so 1 and 2. I'll just erase the first one. Bearish target right there. If it continues, looks like the bullish target is obviously somewhere in this zone, like up here. All right, so 2442. And we could actually, let's measure it. Like when it goes up, it usually goes up how much? Like 10%. Okay, so if we just stop here and go up 10%, that would bring us to 2500, a nice psychological. All right, so these are the two bull targets and bear targets for the Russell 2000. I would bring in the moving averages a little bit, still open, right? It's still trending, it's confirming our analysis, still trending, obvious, right? Okay, if you want to put in some other stuff. All right, yeah, yes, it's losing a little bit of momentum. That's why I pull these oscillators up just to check. Okay, so again, the market showing a little bit of momentum loss. If you want to bring in the oscillators, S&P, Nasdaq even had. See, Nasdaq though there is a potential upside down head and shoulders on the RSI down here. So again, that's giving a little bit more credence, a little bit more weight to possibly we might go up again in the short term, but in the long term, there is this ominous head and shoulders. So until that's broken and done away with, I'm still going to be watching that. All right, let's just move on. Okay, I'll do quick visuals of the other ones. VIX still holding the $20 support. Dollar currency index actually, again, last time I drew this as upside down head and shoulders, and it did go up, and then we found support and higher high, higher low. Okay, so what does that mean? Higher high, higher low, right? Maybe we might see some more market weakness possible. All right, because now we have a short-term moving average cross. All right, and it needs to break through here if the dollar currency index is going to continue its bull uptrend. All right, gold. Wow, look at all these drawings. Make it more simple. Make it more simple. All right. We have resistance and we have support. Okay, then I like to box the price in with as many touch points as possible. So actually I'm going to try not to violate that and draw it like this. So it's in like a descending wedge pattern, kind of ugly pattern, right? But we did hit the support. Okay, we hit that low RSI number. All right, so it looks like gold ready to bounce back at some point, getting rejected by the trend lines. But again, we have a death cross on the gold spot daily. Okay, death cross. All right, so that could mark the beginning of a bearish downtrend for gold. All right, you want to watch out for that. Okay, silver still trying to survive. So we have the resistance up here at about $29.25. The short-term support, $22.57. All right, intermediate support, let's call it $25. Like that. All right, and this could be interpreted as a large upside down head and shoulders. Inverse head and shoulders, right? It could be interpreted as that on the weekly. Just barely. Okay, so we want to watch out for that. Silver is going to break out. Suspicious, right? It's possible in the short term. All right, so if it does break out, let's just measure this. If it does break out, let's do a conservative, like a 12% from the neckline. Did it go 12%? Yes. So that already happened technically. But if it's going to happen again, let's say from this breakout, 12% is totally doable. It's such a low value asset. So $33. Low price, sorry, not low value, low price. So that would be here. Bull target number 1. If it fails down 12%, back down to the support. All right, so these are the two numbers we need to watch out for. I forgot to put the targets on gold. All right, so if gold is going to bounce back, then obviously somewhere probably, let's see, when gold bounces, it usually goes like 8% maximum, 5%. So like 6%, 6-7%. So probably somewhere here will be the bull target up here. If we fail down, when it usually crashes from the top, let's see, we're talking, yeah, 6-7%. So let's say if this is the stop point, then we're going down here. Possible bear target down here in the blue. All right, so oil. All right, oil, remember we talked about this, the trend line, we hit our targets. Very nice. Okay. All right, so we have a lot of resistance here. We have resistance, support. That's what I'm seeing, support, support. And then resistance up here, resistance, resistance, resistance. I'm drawing a lot of lines for the future. But short term, okay, you put in this trend line, then it's like, wait a second, that's bad. The first violation down of this uptrend for the past almost, what is that, almost 6 months? November, December, January, February, March, 5 months, right? So that's kind of suspicious. Now, what pattern could this create? Well, if it's going to create a head and shoulders pattern, that would be bad. That would go down. Okay, that would be bad for the market. All right, so you want to watch out for that. It's just really easy. This one's stuck between $45 and $40. Very simple. All right, US oil. Natural gas, remember last time I drew this upside down head and shoulders. Okay, it didn't quite hit the target. Okay, 20%, it did not go 20% up here, but it went 17%, so very close. But what happened? It reversed quickly into a head and shoulders. All right, so you got to be nimble on the daily charts like that. Okay, and then it went down. Right now we have a little bit of a support. That's good. That's good. So we're finding support at 928. Then the resistances are probably up here like this and support. All right, not super hard to figure this one out. All right, if you have the 3%, okay, 3% target would be 986. So just anywhere in this blue would be the top bull target. If we go real bullish up here, then bearish target down here at 850. Also, there is a trend line here, resistance. Okay, so that would kind of coincide with this first bull target if we're going to bounce that way. All right, now getting to what everyone's super excited about. That's 25 minutes. We're gonna end here. I'm not gonna do Asia and Europe this stream unless somebody asks for it. So let's go to BTC USD. Bitcoin at this time it's $58,427.65. Bitcoin. All right, let's start with the monthly. We had this triangle breakout. What am I talking about? I'm on a 1 month chart. This is just a Bitstamp chart. So we're gonna draw like this. We had the upside down head and shoulders. Boom, right there. Okay, I called this like last June. If you rewind my live streams, I was telling one viewer this could possibly happen. This is one scenario that if you measure this and you put a neckline here, if you believe in the charts like I do, and like a lot of traders do, then the upside could have been 215%. 215% from the breakout would have been $34,000 Bitcoin. Did we hit that? Absolute yes. Oh yeah. Okay. If we're going to continue this uptrend, then you just double the target as a second target. So 440% from the breakout. 440% is where? Right where we are like right now in time. 59,647. So we already hit the second target. Literally this month. All right. If you want to get super bullish, you just triple the target. Right? You could just keep doing this to infinity, but you know, there's a limit still. So 220, so basically 667, basically, right? 667. Where's the next target? This is a log chart, by the way. 80, possible 81,000. All right. This is a log chart. That's why it looks like the lines are getting closer. Logarithmic chart. So in reality, it looks like that. But it's a log chart. So right here, again, we broke. How did I know it was going to happen? Well, we broke through the trend line on the top. All right. So you see also, I remember a lot of people were drawing this triangle a lot last year. Right here. So the coronavirus crash was the right shoulder. Last chance to buy. For now at 4,000. And now we're up, up, up. But I like to not get super bullish when the whole world is bullish because, you know, if you study the charts, year 2000 crash, year 2008 crash, everybody was bullish. So it kind of reminds me now of those 2 years. The difference, though, is COVID-19 and the government is allowing this to happen. Quick side note, that if the government did not want Bitcoin to exist, it could crush Bitcoin fast with new regulation laws. If the government just banned Bitcoin in the US, it's all over. All of this is over if they do that. Okay? So we just have to remember, right now, my point of view on Bitcoin is we need fresh money to come into the market to buy Bitcoin and crypto up bulls, right? Because if you noticed, in the past, this month, it kind of slowed down. Yes, we have Bitcoin options coming up in 1 week, next Friday, expiration date for Bitcoin options on March for this month. But at the same time is, again, what are people going to do with their stimulus checks? That's the question. All right. And then the government is preoccupied with COVID-19 pandemic right now. Is some of the professional institutions, they've been hinting that maybe there might be upcoming regulations in the cryptocurrency space over the next 3 years, right? Because after pandemic, it's like, well, they're probably going to have to deal with this cryptocurrency problem. That's what I'm thinking about. But for now, they're letting have free reign. Because my theory is they're letting people make money because of the pandemic. That's what I think. All right, so weekly, just one guy's opinion, not financial advice. All right, so you could really see this upside down head and shoulders, right? pattern on the weekly. Or if you didn't believe it's upside down head and shoulders, it's just a gigantic 4-year flag pattern breakout, right? There's also another upside down head and shoulders here if you really look at it. There's like two. There's one big one, and then there's a small one. So there's two upside down head and shoulders on the daily that broke out. What I'm concerned about though is if we use Elliott wave analysis, okay, like a 5-wave analysis. Oops, that's not right. That's right. Third wave has to be longest. Okay, if we use that and we zoom into our price action right now, it's looking a little suspicious. We might be in the 5th wave possible on the weekly if you do it like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Just double check those. Yep. So it might, we might, this could be the 5-wave Elliott pattern going into an ABC correction like this. That would make sense to me if it happens. Okay. But it doesn't have to happen. The market can do whatever it wants. It's based upon what do people want to buy. Do they want to buy Bitcoin or do they want to sell Bitcoin? That's the only question. So those are the big targets on Bitcoin. All right. So if we use another type of analysis, okay, let's just pretend right now, hypothetically, if $60,000 happens to be the top of the market, like if we're calling the top of the market right now, this is how I would analyze it. I use Fibonacci retracement. Okay. I like to do this. I use the bottom of the coronavirus pandemic crash, which is March 2020. I'm on a weekly chart. Then go to the top right now. Okay. Of 60,000, right? And what are these levels? These are the retracement, the pullback, the down levels, right? So if we pull back down to a 50% retracement, that's $33,000 Bitcoin here. Pullback target number 1. I'm talking long term. This could take like a year, right? Or 6 months. And then the 6.8 target right down here at 25,000. If it goes real bad, 786, $17,000 Bitcoin. Okay. So those are the 3 bear targets, the big bear targets. All right. And we're kind of double topping right now on the weekly, which is why I'm being a little bit cautious. I'm being a little bit cautious right now on Bitcoin. Why? Because if this comes down, it can create a weekly M. And then if it crashes and then we get a bounce, it just turns into a head and shoulders. And then boom, we're going to get some heavy selling and shorting. If this plays out, wow, what a bearish setup. Okay. So again, the trend line is very steep, very steep for Bitcoin. This is probably wrong, but this one's more right. Very steep. If we bring this in, connect it. Okay. If this trend line gets violated on the M down, like on a weekly, gets 30%. 30% down brings us right into the 50% retrace of this first blue. Right? If this happens, boom, then there's going to be a heavy bounce. Somewhere like this, head and shoulders. Again, I'm saying it twice because it might happen. Right? Then if this happens, right, 80% down. If this happens 80% down, yeah, we're going right in back down to, oh my God. Ultimate bear target, 6,000. Okay. You got to think about this stuff once in a while. Okay. Worst case. Okay. So if you think about it, worst case scenario, Bitcoin goes to 0. Right. Bad case scenario, Bitcoin goes down under like 10,000. So 6,000, 5,000, 4,000, 3,000 is like a really bad scenario. Realistically, at some point in time, we're going to get a large pullback. Okay. I'm not saying Bitcoin's worthless. I'm just saying that Bitcoin might come down, pull back. That's natural. It happens all the time. Again, it's just physics. It's nature. If you throw something really high into the air, at some point it's going to come down. Some point in time. All right. And if you don't believe me, just rewind. Oops, I didn't mean to erase that. If you don't believe me, let's rewind on the charts really fast. Okay. So I'm not going to leave that. I don't want to scare anybody. So we'll just leave that there. But if you look back in the charts, all right. Okay, you go to 2017, top of 20,000. People are like, oh, we're going to 100,000. We're going to 200,000 Bitcoin. On that year, not really. Okay, futures was introduced. The government, institutions, they popped the bubble. And then boom, crash. How long did that take? 2 years down. And then we had the Bitcoin cash wars right here at 2018. That destroyed the market. Then we went down to $3,000 Bitcoin. Nobody thought it was going to go down to $3,000 Bitcoin, but it happened. All right, then we rallied back up. This is the history of Bitcoin. Rallied back up to $12,000. Okay, and then the government, Trump tweeted out that Bitcoin was bad, and then the market crashed. Boom, we could not recover, and then the coronavirus happened in February, March 2020. Crashed down. Really bad. Every single institution, not every single, but the big institutions shorted this down, and then we had professionals and the robots buying this down here at 3,000, 4,000. Okay, then we had the large upside down head and shoulders, the smaller upside down head and shoulders, breakout, triangle breakout, boom, retail FOMO, everyone wants to make money, boom, that's why we're up here now. We have the halvening as well. Bitcoin halvening, okay? So all those coming into play. But again, at some point we're going to pull back. Because there's going to be a price in Bitcoin in the future where people are going to say, whoa, hold on, stop. It's way too expensive as a buyer, as a bull. People are going to be like, I'm not going to buy that, right? And then that's going to be the start of that pullback down. Okay? So you just think about like real life. Right now I'm looking at my mouse and keyboard, okay? If my mouse was if I bought my mouse for $50, okay? And all of a sudden, there's a shortage of mice, and it goes up to $500. Some people might buy it. If it goes to $5,000, I would be like, no, I'm not going to buy that. It's 1,000% overpriced, right? Did I do that math right? But you get the idea, right? It's just overpriced. Right? If it's $50,000 for one mouse, it's like, wait a second. No, I'm not going to buy that. Right? So again, Bitcoin has a value. Right now, it's around $25,000. Okay? So Bitcoin is basically like 110, 120% overvalued at the current state and time. All right? So again, I understand people's bullish projections that they have. But at the same time, is realistically, I just trust and believe in the charts. So what is it telling me right now? What is it telling us right now on a monthly? Just turn off all the lines. Okay, we're still in a bull uptrend. These were getting a little suspicious, these two candles with the upper wick, right, meaning selling. Because that reminded me of here and here. So I was getting a little cautious up here. I took some profits up here. But on a weekly, okay, we're just starting, barely getting a double top. That's why I'm making this video, all right? Questionable. And then on a daily, if you bring up all the usual tools that people use, like momentum, we're losing momentum on the RSI. Okay, we're losing momentum on the RSI down here, so it's a little bit suspicious. Also on the weekly, we had almost the highest ever, or second highest RSI ever. Right, this almost looks like a ghetto head and shoulders. Okay, like a messed up, like a, not ghetto, excuse my language, it's not ghetto, it's just almost a head and shoulders. Right here is a more clear M, but over here a little bit more suspicious. Right, so that's what I'm saying, we gotta watch out for this. And we got Bitcoin options expiring in 1 week. All right, so that's my like 15-minute super analysis on investing long-term in Bitcoin. All right, so long story short is we have some major bear targets down here, and we have in conclusion, we have the bull targets up here, 60,000, 80,000, and 70,000 is in there as well, and then the big 100,000. Right, I saw one article, someone saying we're going to 150,000 Bitcoin by the end of the year. It's possible. It's totally possible, because we don't have, the whole world has not adopted Bitcoin. But for me, there's a lot of barriers to that 100,000, 150,000 Bitcoin. It's the government. it's not just people wanting to buy and demand Bitcoin, it's the government. How high is the government willing to let Bitcoin go? Because all it takes is one news conference, one regulation signed into law to destroy Bitcoin in the US. You just saw it last week where India was proposed legislation to potentially ban Bitcoin, and they were weighing the pros and cons, and then we had a market sell-off, right? So if any major country does it, it's going to be like shocking. All right. So there we go. We're going to leave that here. We're going to leave this here, okay? And see what the technical analysis charts shows us. What they show us. All right? I'm not even going to do Ethereum. Because I think it's all about Bitcoin right now. All right, so just real quick, monthly, we had that pattern. Okay, completed the pattern. All right, the bullish pattern. And now, again, Ethereum double topping essentially at $2,000. Short term, 1364. And then, see this? 700. Actually, there's one higher. 855 and then 700. There's not much support. Okay, Ethereum, we're going to watch out for this double top. We haven't had a clear double top like this for a while now. You're gonna watch out for that. So those are the targets. If Ethereum happens to break to the upside, I'm just saying, then just do it in like $500 increments, 2,500, 3,000, right? Trend line like that. We have another trend like that. So we want to really watch out for this. All right, because if we break the trend line and cannot go above, then this pattern is going to complete, again, the M and into the head and shoulders. You want to really want to be careful of that. Because now, when I was calling my 30,000 Bitcoin or Ripple, you know, like 90%, or Bitcoin Cash 100%, back in June, July 2020, we weren't this high in the price. July 2020, we were like here in the $250 range. So it's different. Okay. So the global FOMO that's happening now, the USA FOMO, it's different now. What's happening now? All right. So again, I went really long over time on this live stream. Thanks for watching. I'm not going to do the Asia and the European stocks this video, focusing on USA and Bitcoin because of the charts looking suspicious. All right, but again, no need to get scared until it actually happens on the charts. Actually, no need to get scared in general. It's just we drew our upside bull targets, we drew our downside bear targets. We know potentially what could happen in the market. Now it's up to the news. Now it's up to the government, institutions, and people. What are they going to do with their money? What's going to happen with the law? What's going to happen with the corporations? All right, so we're entering Q3 is almost, month 3 is almost over. Quarter 1, 2021 is almost over. Just 2 weeks now left. So we're going to see how things pick up at the end of March, beginning of April. It's a new season. All right, thanks so much for watching No FOMO Charts live stream. Again, this is just education only. This is not financial advice. If you have a question, go ahead and type it in the live chat or the comments below. Hope you have a nice weekend and month. See you in the next video. Bye-bye.